All right. Good evening, friends and family, and thank you for coming to another night with Repair, Restore, and Grow Black Communities. And tonight we're here with Jasmine.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi, Miss Denise.
Yes, ma'am. At Royal Pawz, we did an interview about about a year ago.
About a year ago. Yeah.
And it was a wonderful interview, but we had some technical difficulties, and I've been trying to catch Jasmine. She's very busy and she's expanded over here. And I am so happy and proud of her and what she's doing. But she's right here at South Shore. You want to give us your address?
For sure. We're at 7125 and 7123 South Yates. We have two locations now right next door to each other.
Okay. And Jasmine takes care of our pets. Mm-hmm. So anything around grooming, this is the expert here. Yep. All right. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. But as you know, we're a nonprofit organization, and we're supporting, working as a group, rather, to enhance the awareness and support of Black businesses in our community, because we know that Black businesses are the backbone of our community. They help circulate our dollars. They provide entrepreneurial opportunities for other people. They're more likely to support our causes 100%. Than many other businesses that come into our community that are just extracting. 100%. And so Jasmine is really putting the work in here and really doing a good job here. And we want people to support our Black-owned businesses. And we are also great proponents of our bookstores, Jasmine. We used to have 22 Black bookstores in Chicago. We're down to about 9. Okay, and that's actually been a resurgence of Black bookstores, because we were down to about 2. Yes, ma'am. And so everybody's buying their books from Amazon, but I promise you, you won't find the reads that you will find in our bookstores. And we just had a new bookstore to open up called The Book Joint.
Where's that?
They're on 67th and Stony Island.
Okay.
No, 69th and Stony Island. Right there on the corner, 6900 South Stony Island. It's called The Book Joint. Okay. And it's a great little place. They're going to have a little coffee shop in there, some wonderful reads, and they're our bookstore of the month.
Okay, I'm going to stop in and see them.
Absolutely. And we feature a bookstore every month on our website. Okay. And we go a little step further. We give a book away. Okay. And so the book that we're giving away this month, if you go to our website at rrgbc.org, you will see Back of the Hiring Line. And that's a very interesting read about how immigration has impacted the Black community all the way back from the time of Frederick Douglass, Randolph Scott. They had views about that. And so it's a very interesting read, given the climate of things and the way what's going on here in America now. And all you have to do to win a copy of that book is to go to rrgbc.org and subscribe. And if you are our winner, we will send the book to you free of charge. We pay for the shipping because we understand how important what is in your mind and how it's going to impact the community.
It started in my mind first.
That's right.
It started right
just
here.
Like this business, I'm
100%.
sure. You got a vision and you obviously moved on it. And so what's going on up here is very important. And that's why we support our Black bookstores. And then we also ask you to remember the Southside Community Federal Credit Union. They are a Black-owned financial institution. 55th and Garfield.
I'm a part of them.
Oh, great.
I have an account with them.
Absolutely. Okay. See, I told you, Jasmine is on it. Everyone should have an account there. That's how banks make money. Yep. By us opening up accounts. Yep. So please support the Southside Community Federal Credit Union. They give financial literacy classes, and they've been out here just working, trying to help people in the communities. And they have a lot of nice products now. For those of you that are going to some of these payday loan stores, they've got some better options. Okay. So please support the Southside Community Federal Credit Union. And then going back to our bookstores, we do have Save Black Bookstores at change.org. We'd ask you to sign our petition because we want to get contracts for our bookstores. So we're trying to get 1,000 signatures. We're pretty close. So just go there to Save Black Bookstores Chicago at change.org and help us out with that. And you can also go to our website where you can make donations. We have a little store where you can make purchases to help us with the work that we're doing. All right, so let's get to why we are here. We are in this establishment. This is Royal Pawz. It's a lovely place.
Thank you so much.
And like I said, from the last time I came, you have expanded here.
Yeah, very much so.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're going to talk about all of that tonight. But I do want to start out with, as you mentioned earlier, as we were talking about the books and what's in your mind, and what inspired you to open up a place like this?
My love of animals, first and foremost.
Okay.
But second, our pets, being people who look like us, deserve the same quality of service as people on the north side or downtown or South Loop or anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed we weren't getting that. So the best thing to do is bring myself to our community and help our pets and our clients.
Okay.
So that's really important. And pets are typically more comfortable with people that look like them, believe it or not. So when you go into the north side or you're going downtown and you think maybe your pet might be in better hands with someone who may have a little bit more experience, because you assume because they are a different nationality. Because I know people assume that Europeans are the ones who typically deal with pets more, but that's really not true. So dogs can be a little special with others. So you bring them here, and it's family. We family here.
Okay.
So that's the most important thing about it, being in the neighborhood. But I really love working with animals.
Wow. So you had pets all your life?
All my life. Royal Pawz is named after Royal. He was alive the last time we spoke.
Okay.
But he passed March of 2024. Okay. So this is like an ode to him, but it's also like an ode to my love for what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you come from a family of business people? Because a lot of people want to start businesses, but they don't know how, or they don't have the courage. Did you come from a family of business people?
I do come from a bloodline of entrepreneurs. I'm the first to have an actual storefront, so brick and mortar. Okay. But my grandfather, Sanford, who's no longer with us, he owned a lawn care company that my grandmother and my aunt now own as well. My aunt owns a daycare studio, and then my other grandfather is a personal trainer. So it is in the bloodline for us to own businesses and do entrepreneurship. Okay. But I've taken it a little bit further. So hoping that when I had children, they take it a little bit further. So
Absolutely.
I think it's a little bit in the DNA.
And I've had an opportunity to interview people who have taken their business on from their parents, their father, their mother, and they're continuing to keep it going.
And that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. And my father works with me. He is not an entrepreneur, but we're getting him into the entrepreneurship mentality, if I might say so myself. So we're working.
Okay.
We're working for sure.
And you inspire when other people come in, young people especially, and maybe even older people, when they come in and they see you behind the counter and they see you doing this, they think some kind of way, I think I could do this too.
100%. And they can. They can, especially people of color. Nobody does it like us. Wow. So if you put your pizzazz on it and you go and you get your training is most important. I'm very educated in what I do. Okay. So it's not like I learned how to groom and then stopped. I went ahead and got my master's certification. Okay. So I went a few steps and beyond. But
So how long have you been doing this?
13 years total. I started at 18. I'm 31 now. So I've been doing this a long time.
And where did you start?
I started at PetSmart. So I started in corporate. I went to Petco. I started at Petco when 119th Street. Okay. Still had one. That's where I started. I ended up at PetSmart after that. I went to Paradise for Pawz. After that, I went to Oh my goodness. A few other spots like the North Side. I was in Edgewater at Bark Bar Club, and my last full-time job was at a spot called D Spa. Okay. And then after that, I went to my basement for 3 years, and then came here afterwards. So it's been a journey of just going and gathering information and skills from other places.
So is that what you were intending to do, or did it just where did it click? You know.
So honestly, this is a funny story. I did work at a spot called Bark Bar Club, Edgewater. Typically, it's a European area. Okay. They spend a lot of money on their pets there. Mm-hmm. But I was a really good groomer there, and they actually ended up letting me go because I was grooming dogs on the South Side. That's exactly what they told me. Mm-hmm. I did not sign a non-compete. Mm-hmm. They were miles and miles away from what is considered the South Side, and I then realized they didn't fire me because they thought I would take their clients, because there was just no way. Okay. I was just that good. Mm-hmm. And I understood that that's what it was. Mm-hmm. So at that point, the day that I got fired, I think I might have, even my grandfather had been passed, and I think I might have asked, like, hey, granddad, if I'm not supposed to be here, let me know I'm not supposed to be here. And they fired me that day. Okay. And when they fired me, I was like, I can do this. I know I can do this. And I've been striving towards that since then. And that was probably 8 years ago that happened. I was young.
Are there many Black groomers out here?
There are more. Really? There are more now than when I started, 100%. Okay. You have Duke, he's in Bronzeville, he's amazing. Okay. You have LaDonna, she's located in the Roseland area. You have Wolf Cuts, they're located on 127th and Halsted. So we have some. Mm-hmm. There are not a lot. We should have more. Okay. But it's definitely more than when I started 12 or 13 years ago, for sure.
Yeah, because people are, I think, getting more pets nowadays. And so it's very,
especially since COVID.
So this is a good business to go into.
Business. If you have a passion, you're willing to learn, you're willing to be patient. Mm-hmm. And customer service is your skill, because you're dealing with the pet parent before you're dealing with the pet. If you can handle those things, yes, I definitely think the pet industry is an amazing industry for anyone to go into.
So who are your customers?
Typically my customers are women, Black women, between the ages of, I would say, the mid-20s to mid-50s. But I do have some young women in their 60s as well, and 70s that come here. South Shore is definitely where I get a lot of my clientele from. Okay. But I do have some that do travel from the North Side, that do travel from Indiana, as well as Bronzeville and the Woodlawn area also. Okay. So anyone who has a pet is welcome. Okay. It doesn't matter if you have a bird or I've done pigs here before. We don't discriminate.
Oh, I used to have a little canary. I had a little crested canary.
Yeah, I've actually dyed the wings on a bird before for someone. I've groomed 3 rabbits here. I've trimmed the nails on a potbelly pig here.
Oh my goodness.
So we do not discriminate. We're for all the animals. As long as
I know the last time you were just with the dogs, so now you got.
Yeah, we do birds, we do rabbits. I've done a pig. We do cats. We have 3 cats that walk around here. Okay. So yeah, we do not say no typically to anything. If we can get it done, we'll try our best to get it done.
Okay. So are there certain animals that require more grooming than others?
As far as dogs, breeds are concerned, for sure. You have your poodle, your golden doodle, that seems to be a very popular breed. It was more popular like on the downtown and suburban areas a few years ago, but they have gotten really popular in the city now. I probably see 15 golden doodles a week, which is a lot. So they require a lot of maintenance. I think people don't know how much maintenance they require. They should be seeing their stylist every 4 to 6 weeks. So almost as often as a Black woman goes to get her hair done is as often as that poodle should be getting their hair done. Bichons, golden doodles, Bichons, poodle, anything with a poodle doodle coat texture.
Schnauzers.
It depends on if you're leaving them in a breed cut, because some people don't do breed cuts. So that is the shorter body with the longer legs, the long beard, and the eyebrows. I don't know too many people who do that, If they do a breed standard, I would say 4 to 6 weeks would be that time period. But most people go a little bit shorter, so we could typically facilitate them around the 8-week to 10-week mark. So typically 2 to 2.5 months is when they should be coming in. But ideally, I would say all pets should be seeing their groomer every 4 to 6 weeks.
Now, a lot of people are getting these little French bulldogs.
Yes, beautiful breed. They tend to have a few health issues with the smush noses. So I would just be mindful of that. They also typically do not go through birth on their own. So if you're into breeding, you have to be mindful that they typically have a few issues. So you'll have to need a veterinarian during the birthing process if you want to go into that for breeding. But Frenchies are wonderful, wonderful dogs, though. But I would say they can be groomed every 2 months. They're a shorter haired dog. But again, they do shed. And if you want to alleviate any like dander or anything in your home, because that does fill up into like your air ducts and things like that, you still want to get them groomed at least every 6 to 8 weeks.
Now, what about the more aggressive dogs? You know, so many people, especially over here on the south side, I would say. I know when I go to the north side of downtown, I see all kinds of dogs. But over here, I see a lot of pit bulls.
I own a pit bull.
Okay.
Royal was a pit bull. Beautiful breed. This is my cat Huey, by the way. Beautiful breed. Beautiful breed. I wouldn't necessarily say aggressive. I would say that some owners aren't exercising their dogs enough. That would be the top thing that I would say. Because these are working dogs. So they should be worked. And for working, I mean, they should be ran. They do need a ball. They do need enrichment time. Their brain has to move. So that's typically why these dogs come off as aggressive. They have so much pent up energy. The next thing would be socializing them. Also, a lot of people get these pit bull breeds or any bully breed, and they might assume that these dogs aren't sociable. They're extremely sociable. I have some of the sweetest babies that come here that are pit bulls. So I have never been, since I've been here, I don't think I've ever had an issue with a pit bull at all since I've been at this location.
So you must have, you have to be a special person to deal with animals. All right, because they are the different breeds. They have different temperaments.
Come on,
you know, the cats have different personalities.
Clearly want some parts of this.
Yeah, the cats have some personalities. What is it? What kind of qualities do you have to do this?
I would say compassion and patience. That would be my 2 things. Because I love what I do tremendously, but that does not mean that we do not have moments where we get frustrated. Animals are animals. They're not people. They're like little babies. So I would say the same skills that someone who deals with children would need, I feel like you need those exact same skills when dealing with animals. Because they can't talk. They can't tell you what's going on in their mind. That is through interaction that you learn that. So, and that trust has to be built too. So I think, compassion for sure will be at the very top of the list.
So what is an intake like, since people are so passionate about their animals? It's just like you have your baby, your daughter, your son.
The same thing.
Take them somewhere, and
that's exactly what they are.
Them somewhere.
That's exactly what they are.
So what is the conversation?
They are babies. They're not even like babies. They are babies. They are my clients' babies. They are my babies. So when they come in, or let's start with calling and booking an appointment. So they'll typically call or go on the website, book an appointment. It tells you that the dog has to be up to date on vaccines, etc. When they come in for their appointment, there's a 5-minute, maybe 2 to 5 minute check-in process if I've never met the dog before. So I'm meeting the dog, I'm rubbing the dog, making sure that the dog is comfortable with me, but also talking to the client and making sure that me and the client have an energy that meshes as well. Because if the client is not comfortable here, then the dog is probably not going to be comfortable either, because they're connected, they're one, they came together, they're a unit, right? So we're going to talk, we're going to converse. I'll ask what type of haircut they're looking for. We'll go through that. So maybe the dog is matted. We'll talk about the different options for that. If the dog is in a perfect condition, we'll talk about different options for that. If they want coloring, we'll talk about that. I'll ask them if they have any questions that they have for me, any concerns. If they're looking for a particular style, we'll go through that. Ask them if they have any treats, if the dog has any allergies, any behavioral issues that they would know of from either their last groomer or anything that could have happened in the past that they may know about. The dog is typically here, dog, cat, bird, whatever. It's typically here with me 2 to 3, sometimes 4 hours, depending on how busy we are and how difficult the haircut can be. Okay. But they're more than welcome to call and check on their baby. We also offer treats here as well, pup cups, etc., just to make sure that it's a fun time for the dog. And we also socialize them while they're here too.
Okay. So when someone is going to a groomer, what should they be looking for?
Cleanliness, okay, would be the main thing that I would say. Look at how the groomer approaches your dog. When you approach a new dog or a dog that you're probably not familiar with, they should not just be walking up to them and grabbing them, because you wouldn't want anybody to walk up to you and grab you. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing with the dog. Make sure that they're patient. Make sure that they're asking you questions like, what are you looking for? Mm-hmm. Where has your dog gotten groomed before? But main thing I would definitely say is the cleanliness of the place, for sure. 100%. Okay. And also see if it's loud in the spot. Okay. When you come in here, the dogs may rev up for 30 or 45 seconds because someone new has entered in. But after a while, they're pretty calm here. Like, my dog is in the back because he can't be here with me right now. But typically it's pretty quiet. Okay. Yep.
So what skills do you need to become a groomer?
To become, as in like after training is over type of thing? Or are you saying just like what skills should you have as a person before you choose to go
skills as a person, and then I would like to get into the specific training of being a groomer.
Definitely patience. Definitely the ability to listen and learn and be corrected, because this is completely different than what you know in your brain automatically. People don't just know how to groom dogs. So you have to be open to, hey, that might not be right. Hey, you have to be a little bit more gentle. You might assume that I'm brushing this dog gentle, but little do you know you may be a little heavy-handed. Mm-hmm. So you have to be open to criticism. Mm-hmm. But compassion being, I'm going to always say that's always at the top.
So the criticism comes from the owners, and the criticism can come from the animal.
And right? It should come from yourself too. 100%. It should come from yourself too, because you can always get better. And if you're going into this field, you do need to critique yourself 100%. Okay. And your patience, you will learn that. You will learn that over time. Even the most patient person will probably have some issues at the beginning, because dogs know. Mm-hmm. They know when someone's not comfortable doing the job. Mm-hmm. So I would say that as well. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now the training.
Oh, the training. Clipper work. These are the things that you'll learn. Mm-hmm. So how to utilize a clipper. Clipping a person's head is not the same as clipping a dog. I know most of us may think because you're a barber that you can trim a dog. It's not the same. Scissor work is important. Again, we're talking about that patience. That's really important. Because also when you're dealing with these dogs, you're moving them around. You're touching them in odd and weird spaces and places. And if you don't know them or they don't know you, now we have to work on that. Patience, scissoring, clipper work. I would say for people who want to be set apart, your creativity. So if you want to get into coloring or any funky type of thing that sets you apart, your creativity would be at the top of the list as well. That's very important, actually.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And are there schools for pet grooming?
There are schools. So you do not need a license in any state in the United States to be a groomer. Fun fact. So you can actually become trained by a groomer such as myself. Mm-hmm. You can go online for school, but they also do have grooming academies that you can go to as well, that are typically 2 to 3 months, and then they'll pretty much let you be out on your own after that. Mm-hmm. But I would say if you could, try to just get with a groomer who has the time to train you, so that you're not thrown out to the wolves, so to speak. So you're practicing in a safe environment as well.
And like, how long does it usually take?
I would say it's someone can learn to groom in 2 to 3 months, but you're not gonna really learn to groom. You need at least a year. I would say it took me at least 4 years to get good. Okay. It took me 7 years to get really good, and it took me 10 years to get great. So it takes
shows, right?
I do. I've been on HBO for dog grooming. Yes, wow. I do shows.
Okay.
Yes, I'm hoping to go into a competition in March. So next month, at Groomed down in Atlanta. So we also have grooming shows that are done. So if you ever want to become a groomer, these are things that you would go to. They also do classes. So if there's something that you don't know, they can teach you. Or if you want to get your CPR certification, things like that are available. And they're typically not super expensive. But you can get a grooming class at one of these seminars for as cheap as $69. It may not teach you everything. It may teach you basic stuff like coat prep, which is typically bathing, blow drying, nail trimming, things like that.
So you mentioned CPR. I guess I hadn't thought about that.
Oh, yeah, that's important. Yes, and I would say, when you said, what should you look for in a groomer? I would say, make sure that your groomer has their CPR certification. Not saying that we want anything to happen, but accidents do occur, especially if you're dealing with an older dog or a dog who probably got too excited. Anything can happen, no different than if you're dealing with children. So you always want to make sure that you have the training available just in case an emergency does occur.
Because I had a little crested canary.
Okay.
He passed away. And he sang beautifully. It was the male. And he didn't like people to hold him a lot. Okay. And so the first time I took him to the vet and she took him out the cage, he just kind of froze, you know. And she had to keep rubbing him and rubbing him. And
that's that patience and that's that compassion.
Get him to come back because she said, you know, there's nature, you know. And out in the wild, something grabs them, they think they're getting ready to get eaten.
Exactly. Yes. And she took time to learn your baby, though, because all birds may not be like that. Some birds might be like, sure, I'll come out. Okay. Just like you saw me try to pick up the cat that was here. She hates being picked up. Whereas my black cat loves it. Okay. So given the fact that your vet even took the time to say, you know what, just gonna give it some extra time, let her calm down. That's like ideal. That's what you want to look for when you're finding a groomer as well.
Okay. So now let's talk about your services.
All right, let's talk about it.
Provide.
Let's talk about it. I provide anything grooming. So nails, ears, anal glands, teeth brushing, coloring, anything in those lines I do. But we also now have daycare and boarding. So if you want to drop your dog off for daycare so you get some social time from 9 to 4, we have that. And then overnight boarding, we have that as well. So at first I was doing the overnight boarding here, but I don't like to sleep here because I don't leave the dogs at all. They're in my care 24 hours. So instead of me sleeping here, I just take them to my home now. And they're typically with me in my pack that I have at home. So those are the 3 things that we offer now.
Okay. Okay, so now with the, you said the nails and the brushing, and I remember from talking to you before.
We can go down the list of what all
there's a lot of care.
Yeah, so when an animal comes in for grooming, they get 2 shampoos, a conditioner, the nails are trimmed and grinded, the ears are cleaned, the anal glands are expressed, the teeth is brushed, the hair is cut, they get a bandana or bows, and cologne or perfume. So they're taken care of from top to bottom. Wow. They get a full spa day. This is Royal Pawz. They get a royal experience from the moment they walk in to the moment that they leave. Okay. So we take very good care of these babies here.
And so you said you take care of their teeth. And so how often should that happen?
For sure. So you should really be coming in every 4 to 6 weeks for a grooming session. But I know this may sound crazy. But if you have time to brush your dog's teeth every day, I definitely suggest it. When you're bringing your dog in once every 4 to 6 weeks to get a teeth brushing, that's really not doing anything. I'm just being honest. Okay. It's better than nothing. But if you brush your teeth every 4 to 6 weeks, your teeth are not And then you say, I'm going to brush it once every month. That's not going to do anything. So ideally, if you can, they do have toothbrushes for dogs and toothpaste for dogs.
Oh, toothpaste.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
So if you could do that, that would be ideal. But if not, let your groomer handle it. But it helps with the dental hygiene of a dog to not have to go to a vet and get deep cleaning as often if the owner is at home brushing their teeth in between grooms.
And I guess like they talk about the fact that, I guess people don't realize how important your teeth are to your overall health.
And it's the same with the dog.
So it's the same thing with the dogs. What about the cats?
100%.
Brush their teeth too?
I would. And they actually have very stinky breath if you don't.
Okay.
So yes, 100%. I would say so. He is just so curious.
What about the rabbits?
No, but their teeth do have to be cut down though.
Oh, the rabbits?
Yeah. So either people go to a vet to do that, but if your groomer is trained to do it, they can do it.
So you do that?
You can do that. And I do that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's possible. That's a grooming tech. That's the thing that they need for grooming, as well as their nails. So those two things should be done. 100%, at least on a rabbit.
What about the ears?
I mean, you can clean the ears for sure. 100%. 100%. I would definitely say cleaning the ears. Yeah.
And so the birds.
Maybe some people get the wings clipped a little bit, like the little.
Okay.
Yeah, not the actual like bone itself, but some people do prefer the wings to be trimmed, the nails to be trimmed, and I've had someone come in for us to color the wings because their bird was white, so we did purple and pink wings.
So how long does that last?
That lasts for months. I just had a client come today who got orange Pawz done at the beginning of October, and they're still extremely vibrant now.
Wow.
So
the nail polish stays on?
The nail polish is nowhere near as long lasting as the dye. The nail polish, given that, polish is so finicky when it comes to dogs' nails. I would say maybe it'll last a week.
Okay.
Maybe. Not something I love to do, but if clients want it, we definitely facilitate it. But I always prefer the dyeing.
And that's what goes on the paws and the fur and those little colors.
No different than if you different if you dyed your hair at home. It would be the same thing, but it definitely lasts. I've had some color last as long as 9 months, so it just depends. I'm so sorry, my dog is like he is very upset that he is not with me right now.
Pawz, and that's why you here.
Very upset that he's not with me right now.
He out here with us.
Right here. He is so special.
Oh, wow. So what about massages and aromatherapy types of treatments? Do you do that too?
We do Reiki massages here on dogs as well
as aromatherapy. Massages?
Yes.
What does that do for your dog?
It calms them down.
Okay.
Just like with our system and our spirit and our immune and neuropathic ways and everything that we have going on. Dogs have the exact same thing. They have the exact same thing. They go through tenseness and trauma and issues and sadness just like we do. Especially say you're at work, right? Say you have a dog at home and you're at work here with me right now. You don't think he gets sad? Sure. You don't think he has like some loneliness going on? Maybe he wants the extra attention. We facilitate all of that stuff. And Reiki is, of course, an energy transfer as well. So when you have someone that's super calm, extremely passionate about pets, they care about the liveliness of the pets, how the pets feel at the end of the day. You want to make sure that is the service in itself. Any grooming service, technically in my mind, is a Reiki session because we are touching. We are transferring energy. The Reiki sessions we do just elongate that a little bit more. So it's 30 minutes. It also comes with a lemongrass shampoo and conditioner. We also have sound bowls with that, and they also get a rose petal soap while that's going on. He's so curious. Yes.
I just said, what's going on?
This is my 10-month-old Huey P, and he's just like
beautiful coat.
Gorgeous cat, gorgeous. He was given to me. Okay. And then this is Chi Chi. She was given to me too. Okay. So you can see, like, they all have their own personalities.
Wow. Are any of the dye? That's what I'm going to ask you. Is this a natural dye?
It is all pet safe. It is non-toxic.
Okay.
I use either Crazy Liberty
Mm-hmm.
or Pawz. Pawz being my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Pawz lasts for months and months and months and months and months, and they test all their products, 100% guaranteed. I have never had an issue with anything when it comes to them.
Okay.
Yep. So that's all we use. We don't use any like regular people dyes. They're all pet safe.
Mm-hmm. So, is any of this covered under the insurance? Any of these services?
We got insurance. We gotta have insurance.
Okay.
We have to have insurance. It's 100%. But I've not had any issues here.
Okay.
Knock on.
Okay.
We've had no issues. We have no nicks, no cuts, no problems. But if anything ever did occur, we take care of that.
So now, on the other side of that, I know people get pet insurance, and so any of these services, any of these types of services covered under any of the pet insurance?
I don't know that it does, but I do have a client. I'm not sure who she's insured under, but she does take her grooming bills to her insurance, and I believe that they do reimburse her. I'm not sure who she has. I've never personally had that done before. But I do know some places, not Real Pawz, but I do know some places do work with certain insurances. I'm just not that high tech yet.
Okay.
But I do know it's a possibility. I know what happens. And I'll be sure to actually ask my client. But I do know she comes in here and she asks for her receipts because she said, I claim this on my insurance. So I know it's possible.
Okay. And so do you have like package deals or
as far
membership plans?
So what I do like have going on right now from now until March 21st, if you pay for your pet services for the year, so pets should be getting groomed every 6 to 8 weeks. So if you do want to go ahead and book for the year, we do have a package that brings that down by like $75 to $100 for the year. And we also have like a few daycare packages as well. So we do have some things that help with people who want to be in like a more budget friendly realm, but they will be paying upfront for the year. Okay. We do have that.
Okay. All right. So family, if you have a dog, if you have a cats, if you have a pig, if you have a bird,
if you got a lizard,
rabbit.
If you got a lizard and you need the nails trimmed.
Oh, you take your lizards too?
I do not discriminate, Miss Denise. We don't discriminate here.
Little gerbils.
Whatever
turtles.
is needed. We do not discriminate, okay? Now, I can trim a turtle's nails because they have nails. I don't know what else I could do. But yes.
Oh, well, you might want some little, I don't know.
maybe they want a lemongrass. So I don't know. They can want a lemongrass. Okay. If it's possible, we'll do it.
Oh.
Yeah, 100%.
That is wonderful.
100%. All pets should be pampered. I feel like all God's creatures deserve pampering, not just humans. Believe it or not.
Well, I did have an opportunity to come in here on several occasions and watch you, and they just sit there and they just let you do.
Because they know Auntie Jazz loves them. Auntie Jazz loves them. Wow. That's what it is. It's trust. It's a whole lot of trust. We've dated. So particularly those dogs that you see, we've dated. We've had a few dates. You're not gonna let a man just be like, hey, niece, how you doing? Okay. We go through a dating process. So by the time you come in here, we engage by the time you see us.
Something I was going to ask you about animals. As you were starting to talk about their socialization needs.
Yep, they definitely need socialization.
They are animals. And if they were left to their own, they would have a social life.
Yes.
You say?
Yes, 100%.
Because dogs used to run in packs.
Exactly. So pack mentality is not just a word. It is something that dogs go through. Typically, dogs aren't born singular. They're born with brothers and sisters. Also, when people get brand new puppies, fun fact, you should always let the dog stay with its siblings as long as possible, but ideally no shorter than 8 weeks old. They are learning socialization cues from their brothers and sisters, but they still get that as they're socializing with other dogs. They still need to learn boundaries. Just like people need to learn boundaries, dogs need to learn boundaries. They need to know what they can and cannot do. And that isn't able to be facilitated if there is no socialization. With other dogs. But we typically don't get that on the South Side because a lot of us haven't stepped in to facilitate and have these spaces yet. But that's what makes Royal Pawz so special.
Mm-hmm.
We came in and we want to bring a space that facilitates what a dog needs, which is definitely socialization, but beyond itself. So, dog socialization. Also, people think that cats and dogs don't get along. The dogs and the cats play in here. That black cat that you saw actually plays in daycare with a lot of the smaller dogs that come here. But that comes with socialization and training, and we facilitate that here.
So you offer social events here?
We do events here. We do barking times. We just did that. That was a beautiful event, kind of like Galentine's, but for dogs and their humans. So we did pup cups. We played games. We had a little dog named Chase here that ran around with his little football, and it was really, really cute. We had a discount on the clothes that we sell, so people were able to come in and get Valentine's Day clothes and even just retail in general that was discounted. We do things for the public at least every 3 to 4 months to make sure that we're doing our community service. So all of these events are free too. We don't charge anyone for the event. So we typically facilitate food for both the animals and the people, music, and some sort of event as well, or some sort of something. So whether it be a game, or we've had a pool party at Jackson Park before. So we do a few things.
So what should a person think about when they're thinking about getting a pet?
For sure. I would say
important things.
If you're getting a cat, cats can typically be by themselves. A lot of times they're solo animals. If you're getting a dog, do you really have the time to take care of that baby? Do you have time for that baby to go outside and have a walk? Do you have time to train him? Potty train, discipline training. Do you have the time? And are you responsible? That is most important, because there are many days that I do not want to walk my dogs, but they have to go. That is so important for them to get outside and smell the grass, smell the fresh air. If you cannot facilitate that daily, you may want to rethink getting a pet. So the time that you have is very, very important.
And then dogs have different temperaments, so leaving certain dogs at home by themselves.
Yeah, I do believe that dogs I do not feel like you should have your dog with you 24 hours. That does create social anxiety, and it does make your dog want to be with you all the time. They can be by themselves. Like GQ is with me right now, but he does spend 8 hours at home alone. That is not every day, but that is my life. So he does get that 4 to 5 hours out of a week or out of a day. But then when we come home, we're going on a nice, lengthy 45-minute walk. He's getting time with his mom. I'm brushing him. I'm combing him. I'm playing with him. So do you have the time? It's no different than children.
You know what? Some people take their dogs everywhere. They take them to the store.
I am not one of those girls.
In a market.
I am not one of those girls. I am not.
I was in a dressing room at this clothing store, and I looked up, and this dog was coming under the other side.
I'm not one of those girls. I don't mind if that's what people like, but I know these dogs are our babies, but they are dogs first.
Okay.
They are dogs first. I know people say, that's my baby. He is your baby. But before he came out the womb, his mother was a dog. So you have to let
a dog be a dog.
Let a dog be a dog. And I think that's very, very, very important, because you are not a dog, you're a human.
That's right.
You don't want to be treated like a dog. So I do believe that they carry a very special place in our heart, but they are canines or felines or whatever else other animal you have. So I would say make sure that you respect that first, and then everything else will follow.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So how can someone get in touch with you here?
Yeah, so you can go
What are your hours?
So I'm here Tuesday through Saturday, but I'm here Tuesday through Friday from 9 till 5. Saturday I'm here from 8 to 4. So I come in a little earlier, I get out a little bit earlier.
Okay.
You can reach us at www.jazzthepetstylist.com. That's Jazz with an S, not a Z. You can also call me at 773-359-4416. But I am Jazz the Pet Stylist across all platforms. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you can find me.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And one last question. Cost.
Yes.
Yes, when you say every 4 to 6 weeks, you know, with all of these different services, what can someone's budget look
For
like?
sure. Depending on the dog. So let's say we have the most common that I see here is a Yorkie or a Shih Tzu. Your first initial haircut will be a full grown. That's $125. I know that sounds pricey for every 2 months, but all dogs do not need a full haircut every 6 to 8 weeks. You can get what's called a mini groom. It's a face, feet, and sanitary trim, but you still get the bath, the nails, the ears, all that stuff. Just not a full haircut. Very, very important to your health because you are breathing in everything that's in your home. And if your dog isn't properly getting cleaned and properly blow dried, people think if you just wash your dog, you're getting your dog clean. No, our blow dryers are high powered. They blow out that excess debris as well, and they also keep the dog from getting matted. So I would say, plan for every 4 to 6 weeks, but know that that first initial haircut will be $125. Say 6 to 8 weeks from then, you'll be spending about $75 if you have a smaller dog. Make sure that you're combing and brushing, though. That is so important. Matting fees are extra. If it takes me a little extra time to demat your dog, of course you have to pay for that service. But ideally, I would say, depending on your dog, you'll be spending between $125 to $200 every 2 to 3 months. And if you have a dog, I mean, you gotta know that it comes with a bill.
That's right.
Also, if you're getting a golden doodle or a poodle or anything poodle-y, that's a very expensive dog to maintain. I know that's something that we love to get. A lot of people are getting these golden doodles and these bichons and these poodles, but you have to know that they take a little bit more to take care of. They're going to cost you a little bit more to take care of, and the maintenance at home is going to be more important. So those are big things. Combing and brushing on these hairier dogs are very important. So your Shih Tzus, your poodles, your bichons, your Yorkies, your Schnauzers, they all need to be combed and brushed while you're at home. So there's only so much I can do every 6 to 8 weeks. So really the main important thing is at home. But we can go through that. When I bring clients in, if they don't know how to properly comb and brush, we go through that as well. Yep. And I will be facilitating online courses for that soon too, to teach people how to properly comb and brush their dogs. Because people may think that they know how to, but most of the time they don't.
And brush their teeth.
And brush their teeth. And even trim their nails. I mean, I do want to have something. We are going to bring something in that's more budget friendly because everyone may not be able to afford a service at Royal Pawz. But I may not be able to do it for you, but I can at least teach you. Now, it may not be grooming all the way, but I can teach you how to do the nails. I can teach you how to comb. And I can teach you how to brush. Those are easy things that you could possibly learn with 15 to 20 minutes of practice.
See, this is why you're going to be successful, or you are successful because you care about the dog. You're putting the dogs first. You're putting the animals first.
First and foremost. First and foremost.
Some people may say, "Oh, I'm not going to tell them about that because I'm losing my business." But no. So you got the right attitude.
I definitely because at the end of the day, I want your dog to be taken care of. It's not about Jasmine. It's not even about Royal Pawz, but the mindset behind Royal Pawz is making sure every dog has a royal experience. That's whether it's here or at home with their pet parent. So we want to be able to facilitate that and be a wedge between all of that. So if you just need a few questions answered, we can help you with that. You don't have to come spend money in here to ask a question. I have no problem giving the information. This is why I've accumulated the information, is to teach our community what is needed to make sure that their pets thrive. So that's not a problem at all.
Wow. Family, this has been a very enlightening discussion with Jasmine, who obviously loves animals. And for those of you who are pet lovers out there, pet owners out there, you definitely need to visit Royal Pawz.
Please come see us.
Absolutely.
So your baby can be treated like royalty. Your babies are royalty. I mean, that's 100% without saying. We love every baby here.
Wow. And like she said earlier, she's taking care of the cats, the dogs, the pigs, the rabbits,
the birds,
the lizards,
anything you need help with. I have a snake at home as well.
Oh
so
my
whatever
goodness.
you need help with, please let
me
know. He's a ball python. He's an ivory ball python.
That's a big snake, isn't
He's about 3.5 feet.
Okay. Yeah. That's pretty long.
Yeah.
So you take care of snakes too?
I mean, I take care of my snake. Now, if you
Okay.
got some questions, I could definitely help with that. I've had him for a
Okay.
few years now.
Okay.
He's really sweet. The females typically get bigger than the male, so I have a small snake compared to what people may have at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Girl, you got it going on.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, family, I hope you have enjoyed listening to this. We're going to take a little look around this wonderful place. Like I said, you have expanded since I was here. So we'll take this out and
let's do it.
You can look around and see the clothes that she has in her space. And
Here, I'll take you all around. So we do pictures here typically. Like this is like a little photo booth area. So we've done some Valentine's Day stuff here. I did a Santa Pawz shoot here for Christmas as well. That was really cute. Our retail section is here. We have 3 racks to choose from. We have a more designer rack that comes with, of course, like the Louis Vuitton and the Gucci and all that great stuff that people love.
Wow.
Yep, that's an amazing rack. People love that rack. We've actually sold out of those printed harnesses, and we just got more in. Then we have our second rack. This is Smoochie Poochie. It is created by the owner of Urban Lux Cafe right down the street on 79th and Exchange. So excited to be partnering with her. Her clothes are amazing, very high end, very high quality. I've sold quite a few pieces of hers as well. And then this is my personal Royal Pawz rack. We switch this out every 2 to 3 months. So we have things for girls, things as fancy as little dresses, things as masculine as this. We have all types of stuff. And of course, we have toys and treats and coats and all that amazing stuff. And then on this side, we have the amazing groomer salon where all the creative juices flow. You see my cat Chi Chi. Yeah, Chi Chi here. She's the youngest. She's the second youngest out of the crew. You have Nefertiti. She is the oldest. She's 3. And then the black cat that you all saw is Huey. He's the he's the youngest. He's the baby of the crew. Okay. Since the last time you were here, these walls were purple. Okay. So we've changed some things. We went with like a off-white and then an orange. Okay. We've done some work with the walls as well, with the pictures. The Snoopy pictures come from my friend Chad. I actually used to work for him at D-Spot. He's since passed now. So this is like a little ode to him to be able to put that stuff up there. And look at that. And the cats are always up here chilling. So you can walk in with your dog and the cats will just be here. And they typically won't move. Like they don't mind the dogs at all. So this is all grooming. And then over in that back area there, it's kind of dark back there, but we have our daycare area. So that's where the dogs get to run around and socialize. And we have a swing, like a little play set back there. We have a tunnel. We have tons of activities for them to do. But this is Royal Pawz. Okay, this is Royal Pawz, and it's really nice. And this is Jasmine. All right, Jasmine. It's so nice to have you all come see my space. Absolutely, it's lovely. Look, she's like, you're disturbing me. She's so sweet. She's so sweet. All right, Jasmine, thank you so much. Yes, Denise, thank you.